This is the full story of the Nazca lines. In 2014, an aerial drone enthusiast named John Renner was flying his drone over the Nazca lines in southern Peru when he noticed something peculiar. In this remote area of the Peruvian desert where most of the lines are invisible from the ground and their true scale is unknown, he saw something that nobody had ever seen before. And it was only because a recent sandstorm had cleared away the covering sand that revealed it. There in the earth, carved by some unknown means, was another of the mysterious figures that comprise the Nazca lines, but this one was different. It appeared to depict a serpent swallowing a man whole, complete with what looked like fangs and scales. Nobody had ever documented this line before, so John took photos and videos and then uploaded them online. The Nazca lines have always been shrouded in mystery. They were made somewhere between 1500 BCE and 500 CE, meaning they are about 3,000 years old. Nobody knows who made them or why, though many theories exist. All we know is that they are a collection of over 12,000 lines etched into the earth across an area of about 468 square kilometers in southern Peru. Most of these lines form shapes of animals, plants, and geometric designs, while others appear to be roads leading to specific sites. To this day, archaeologists don't even agree on how they were created, though they all seem to agree that the people who made them had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. Many of the lines align with important celestial events, such as solstices and equinoxes. And some researchers believe that they may have been used for rituals related to fertility and agriculture. Others think that they could have been used as a kind of landing strip for alien spaceships, although there is no evidence to support this theory. But that hasn't stopped some people from trying to find out if it's true. After uploading his photos and videos of the serpent devouring a man, John Renner began to experience strange things. Electrical equipment around his house began malfunctioning. Power cables would become hot to the touch for no reason. His computers would randomly shut down. He also began having strange dreams and vivid hallucinations, both when he was awake and asleep. One night he awoke to hear a voice whispering to him in an unknown dialect. Unable to understand what was being said, but clearly aware that he was being addressed, John tried to investigate further, but the voice soon fell silent, and he never heard it again. These phenomena terrified him, so he decided to travel to Peru to try and get to the bottom of what was happening. Upon arriving, he sought out the help of local experts, including a shaman named Pablo, who told him that the spirit of the serpent was angry because someone had disturbed its rest. According to Pablo, the only way to appease the spirit was to return to the desert and perform a ritual using a psychoactive brew called apiaco. This drink is made from the leaves of the Psychotria viridis shrub, which contain the psychoactive chemical DMT, and it is traditionally used in religious ceremonies in the Amazon jungle regions of South America. As far as we can tell, it's basically a really strong hallucinogen, so this was not going to be like your average tea party. John agreed to do whatever was necessary to stop the strange occurrences, and so he and Pablo traveled to the desert where he had found the serpent line. There, under the blazing sun, they drank the murky brown liquid. It tasted awful, like dirty socks and old gym towels. Then they waited for the spirit to reveal itself. But the only thing that revealed itself was a very bad trip. The world dissolved into a kaleidoscope of colors, and John felt himself falling through a vortex into a deep abyss. When he came to, he was lying on the ground in front of the line with Pablo kneeling beside him. Relieved that the worst of it was over, he asked Pablo what he should do next. But Pablo's eyes were wide with terror, and he didn't respond. Instead, he grabbed John's arm and pointed toward the sky. And that's when John saw it. Peering down at them from above was the face of a giant monkey. Its expression seemed cruel and menacing, and its burning red eyes stared directly at John. As he watched in paralyzed fear, the monkey reached down and plucked Pablo up into the air. Then it flew away, taking Pablo with it. John tried to call out to him, but his voice failed him. He couldn't make a sound. All he could do was watch as the monkey disappeared into the distance, taking Pablo with it. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the horrifying vision vanished. John was left alone in the desert with the wind whipping around him. The only sound, louder than the pounding of his heart, was the sound of the wind carrying sand across the barren landscape. He stumbled to his feet and ran toward his car, desperate to escape the desolate wasteland that had become so terrifyingly surreal. But as he drove away, he could swear he saw the giant monkey perched on the roof of his car, grinning down at him with those burning red eyes. It was only when he reached the safety of his hotel room that he allowed himself to relax. Somewhat. He tried calling the police to report what had happened, but they didn't believe him and hung up on him. Disappointed but resolute, John returned to the hotel restaurant where he had met Pablo. There he encountered another tourist who had witnessed the same monkey apparition that John had seen during his psychotic episode. The tourist, a woman named Maria, told John that she had seen the exact same thing the moment he arrived in town. She, too, had come seeking the truth behind the Nazca lines, but had been warned by locals not to go any further in her investigation, or whatever she uncovered would be hers alone to bear. Still, she couldn't resist, and had ventured out into the desert to see the lines for herself. That's when she saw the monkey. Together, the two investigators searched the town for anyone else who had seen the monkey, hoping to find witnesses that could corroborate their stories. But much to their disappointment, they found none. The two were about to give up hope of ever finding answers when they met an old Peruvian man named Jose, who agreed to take them out into the desert to show them something incredible. Out there in the vast emptiness, Jose showed them more examples of the Nazca lines, but instead of being impressed, John was horrified. The more lines he saw, the worse his visions became. At one point he even saw the serpent from the earlier vision slithering toward him, its fangs bared in a silent snarl. But Jose told them that these weren't the lines that John needed to see, not if he wanted to get to the bottom of what was happening. Jose led them to a place where the earth had been freshly disturbed and the sand had been removed, revealing a new line. It depicted a man holding a strange object that looked like a camera. Intrigued, John walked closer, and that's when the world shifted. He felt a sharp pain in his chest and slumped to the ground as the desert around him dissolved into darkness. Days passed, and John never woke up. In the end, this story has a pretty big twist ending. A few days after John's disappearance, satellite images released by the Peruvian government revealed a new Nazca figure that had appeared in the desert, a man holding a drone. It was etched into the earth so perfectly that it was obvious who it was. It was John. But how did he get there? And why did he vanish? The answer to that question still remains a mystery, one that will probably never be solved. Hey, everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other content and hit that subscribe button. See you next time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support keeps this channel alive and lets us bring you even more creepy, mysterious content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.